Once again, we get paid to read these books. Coach K, Leading with the Heart. I'm feeling a little deja vu because I done read so many and I've been reading these coaching books for years, man. And now it just seems like it's resonating. It's the same set of standard. You can't improve it if you don't measure it. It's accountability, responsibility, confrontation, coaching, leadership by example. Is over and over and over and over. He ain't saying nothing different than Dean Smith just said, or that whoever else the last coaching book we just read. So it's just a matter of doing it. And also, teammate, we got to be patient with ourselves. I mean, we don't. If you're like me, I didn't come from no background. I didn't grow up in a house with no coach giving me no example. I mean, I'm learning this as I go. So I love it. All right, well, let's get into it. So this is, we're in chapter 3, establishing discipline. And now he's talking about personal responsibility. And that's amazing. Look, we read one of the books we read on, the whole book was about personal responsibility, was Extreme Ownership. And it's basically the exact same thing. Leading, winning is a language. Top producers saying the same stuff. Learn the language, live it, exemplify it. You're going to get the same results that they're getting. All right, now listen to this. So he's talking about going to West Point, his first year, and how he learned personal responsibility at West Point. So this is page 42. His roommate stepped in some water, splashed mud on his shoes. He didn't go back and change shoes. He kept walking to class. Some upperclassmen run into him out there and starts, getting on him because he got dirty shoes. Well, and he couldn't make an excuse and say, the reason my shoes dirty is because my roommate splashed the mud on my shoes. I left the room clean. It's his fault. Well, winning don't work that way. It is your fault because you should have went back and cleaned your shoes right then. But obviously, when you're young and you're immature, it takes some time to accept total responsibility. Now listen to this. So this is what he says. He says he was mad with his roommate. Now, the truth is that I had no right to be mad at my roommate. I should have been mad at myself. And later, when I understood the reality of the situation, I was angry with myself. That was a huge lesson for me. So how does that lesson translate to what I do now as a coach, as a leader? Well, listen to this, teammates. Listen to this. Well, no matter what happens, it's my team. It's my team. I'm responsible. There's no excuse. That's how I feel, and that's how I act. Teammates, that is where we all got to be. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. Accepting personal responsibility has got to be in fact, he goes on to the next page. He says, and then he's talking about his basketball team. You didn't block out. You didn't do what you're supposed to do. And listen to this. Listen to what he says. He says, in a situation like that, we're not blaming anyone at any time. Rather, we're embracing the hell out of personal responsibility. Teammates, that's what he said. Did you hear what the man said? He says we are embracing the hell out of personal responsibility. That's the same thing in extreme ownership. Everything is my fault. Most people don't want to live their life like that. It is so, you just get a job, they tell me what to do, I do it whatever, good or bad, I do it just enough where they give me a check every 2 weeks, and they pay me just enough where I keep coming back, and then you just kind of cruising and drifting. No. This whole entrepreneurship, commission only, building a distribution business, this ain't that life. This is not that life. This is that you got to be on it. It is grow or die. Everybody ain't ready for that. And if you ain't, it just is what it is. Everybody ain't built for that. They ain't built for that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong. This is not throwing no shade. Everybody ain't high strong like Chris Durham. I'm the crazy one, not you. Just get a regular job and just coast. But for those of us who just something about me just can't settle, something about me just the thought of going to somebody's job, sitting there listening to them tell me what to do for a check every 2 weeks, and just, I can't even imagine. All right, now listen to this. So that's my insight. Number one is Personal responsibility means everything is my fault. All right, now let's go on to point 2. Now he's talking about, and this is not another section in the book. I think it probably should be another section in the book. Now here I am telling Coach K how to write this book. Well, it probably should be another section, because he's transitioning from personal responsibility to collective responsibility. That's important too. Ooh, it is not easy to do. God, I'm going to get good at it, dadgummit. Collective responsibility. So he says, once again at West Point, it's 30 plebes, just like underclassmen, freshmen. And they out there running around, don't know what, they butt from a hole in the ground is what they say in the military. Anyway, so the point is, they out there dysfunctional. So one exercise, all 30 of them in their platoon have to be in line, in formation outside, got to run upstairs. When they say dismiss, they got to run upstairs. Everybody got to change clothes into dress uniform and be downstairs in formation in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Now, I'm sure I can't imagine. I don't know how long West Point been operating, 100 years or more. Somebody look that up. How long West Point been in business? I'm sure they've been doing that same exercise for half a number of years. Every time it's going to take a while for everybody to start getting downstairs on time. But this is the point. Listen to this. So, obviously, you're going to start off and people are going to be late. That's just part of it. So you come downstairs. Why are you late? Now, this is on page 44. Why are you late? No excuse, sir. That's right. No excuse. But when we were asked other questions, why aren't you out here? Now, these are the other questions. This is where they're planting seed for team collective responsibility. Why aren't you out here with your teammates? That's if you had got there on time, but your teammates are not. Why aren't you out here together? No excuse, sir. Listen up. If one of you is late, all of you are late. Do you understand that? Now listen to this. It's not about you getting out here on time. It's about you and your teammates getting out here on time. If you guys work together, you might make it. So let's learn to help one another out. Then it goes on and on and on. So they finally got everybody down there on time. So listen to this. We learn to appreciate the talents of other guys. See, if you in a hurry, let's say whoever gets dressed first, they need to start calling out the timer. And they need to keep people conscious of the time. Now, whoever is conscious, whoever does that, they need to be making sure whoever is slow at whatever they slow in, they go back and helping that person. In our world, we got a culture where we score every day. It's one recruiter, one seller, one new licensed person, or 3 persons, 10 new names. Teammates, at some point, to go to the next level, it's not, just like in this book, it's not about you getting down here on time. It's you and your roommates getting out on time. It's you scored and who else on your team scored. Is you scored and who else on your team scored? Is you scored and how many people on your team scored? It's really what it boils down to. And you gotta find the people that want to score. You gotta find the people that want to work. You gotta find the people that want to put that energy in there. But you gotta find them for it to scale up and turn into an organization that pays you $1, $2, $3, $4, $500 million. So, point number 2. It's about collective responsibility. Our job is to get people to work together as a group. And that is not easy. I don't care about being easy. If you don't, easy is sleazy. If it was easy, everybody would be making $1 million. All right. Point 3, and I'm going to let y'all go. Now he's talking about discipline defined. Now, so I'm telling you, there should have been another section. Personal responsibility is one thing, but collective responsibility, the mindset of your organization, that's a whole book. That ain't like just a subset in one chapter. That is like a whole book, creating a culture of collective responsibility. Ooh, wee. Getting people to show up on time, getting people to show up dressed, fed, and ready to play, getting people to prepare before they got there, getting people to be a leader. Teammates, that's what you get paid big money for. All right, next. Discipline defined. Some people feel that discipline is a dirty word. Now, this is page 46. Some people feel that discipline is a dirty word, but it shouldn't be. All it really means is doing what you're supposed to do in the best possible manner at the time you were supposed to do it. And that's not such a bad thing. But this isn't all. And now listen to this, teammates. Now he's talking about confrontation. Now listen to this, because that's my insight on this. He's this leading up to confrontation. Because, for the most part, you can't really have a disciplined organization without some confrontation, because everybody's not going to start off doing it right. It's really that simple. So if you like me, you're a good old country boy trying to avoid confrontation, don't want everybody to like you and get along, that is a problem. You got to overcome that. In Proverbs, I read a proverb every day. It's 31 Proverbs, 30 days, 31 days in a month, Proverbs 6. I just read it this morning, the exact same thing. Y'all can look it up. I can't remember, it might have been 6 and 10 or 11. He said the word is the light and da-da-da. He said, and by correction and instruction is how you build a life. Well, I'm preaching. I'm going to get me a daggum pray in church one day. It says by instruction and correction. So you can't be a coach or a leader and you don't want to confront people and you're avoiding that. It doesn't work. All right, now listen how he talks about it in his book, page 46. We're here for a reason. We're here to get an education and to play basketball. Am I tough on the team? Absolutely. If they don't show respect for the program, respect for the university, and respect for one another, I'm all over them. I don't want fear to be my primary motivator, but the team has got to know that if they screwing up, the hammer going to come down. I'm not going to accept mediocrity at practice, and I'm not going to coach them if they're not giving their best effort. So our team has to be disciplined in their work. Teammates. So my insight number 3 on this discipline, confrontate. You can't have discipline without some confrontation. That's my insight. You can't have a disciplined organization without some confrontation. So if you're avoiding confrontation, get over it. If a person's not on time, you got to say, hey, I need you to get here on time. If a person's not prepared, hey, I need you to do this before this meeting starts. If that person's not doing this, you got to be the type of person that says, hey, this is what we need to do to grow. This is what I need you to do. That's how it works. That's how winning is done, teammates. I love you guys, man. I just love it. I promise you, I'm reading this book for me. I hope you get something out of it. And we're putting, we right now probably up to about 40 videos. We're going to have 100 videos like sneak peeks on Instagram. But I'm putting the whole insight on YouTube. We're probably up to about 40. I can't wait till we get 100 of these daggum leadership lessons out there. And the world discovers what we're doing. And they start gleaning and learning and changing their lives too. Love you guys. We'll run this play again tomorrow.